Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be looking at Java, installing Java, setting it up, and using it in Visual Studio Code. So, how do we get started? First of all, we're going to need to download the Java JDK, which stands for Java Development Kit. It's what we use to actually program in Java. And we're going to need to set up our environment variable path to look for where our Java installation is so that our operating system knows where to find Java at. Now, if you're on a Linux machine, you can download and install Java from whatever package manager your distribution uses. I'm on Arch, so the installation instructions for Arch will be done in the description, as well as Ubuntu and possibly Fedora. If you're on Mac, you might be able to get Java through Brew. If not, the webpage that I'm going to show you in a few seconds is going to have a download link for Mac, both an installer and the manual tar.gz file. And then if you're on Windows, you can download it from a few different websites. I'm going to show you the Oracle website because that's probably the most trusted site for downloading Java. And that as well includes a zip file and an installer for Windows. So 1 second, we'll pop over to the browser. Okay, now that we're in the browser and we are at the website for the Oracle Java download, you can see right here in the bottom right hand of my browser the link or URL to the website. This will also be in this, the description, by the way. So if you need to find the website pretty quickly, it'll be just below the video. So this is the Java SE Development Kit 11 downloads page. You can also get Java 8 as well if you want, just by taking the URL and instead of saying JDK 11, you just replace the JDK 11 with JDK 8, and it will give you the download page for Java 8 if you prefer to use that version. Now you can see here they do offer some Linux downloads, the Debian package, RPM package, and the compressed archive, which is just the tar.gz. But they also have the macOS installer, which is a DMG, macOS compressed archive, which is a tar.gz. They also offer Solaris, which is pretty cool. And then the Windows 64-bit installer, this is what you're going to use on Windows to install the JDK. But if you want to do it manually, if you want to put your Java folder somewhere specific, you can always download the zip file and then extract it and place that file wherever you want to place it. All right, so I'm going to head back to VS Code and then I'll explain the environment path variable. Okay, now that we're back in Visual Studio Code, I'm sure you noticed that I had this Java extension pack open. This is the extension pack that you're going to need to have Java language support, debugger support, and IntelliSense within VS Code. So you can go to the extensions tab and search Java extension pack. It'll be the one with 6 extensions in it, one by Microsoft, 4 million downloads. That is the one you're going to need. So it's a good idea to go ahead and download this first once you've installed Java on your system, either through your package manager or through an executable file. So I'm going to go ahead and enable for this workspace, which is going to open this Java overview page. Now the workspace that I'm in is just a folder called Java Setup. I can print the current directory in the terminal for you here. So you can see it's just in my home, and then a temporary folder, and then in Java Setup. Now, what you're going to want to do is make sure that you have your environment variable set or your environment path set. So the way you can check to see if you have a path set is you can actually hit Control-Shift-P on a Windows or Linux machine, or Command-Shift-P if you're on a Mac, and type in Java, and then type configure Java runtime. And you can see this is the one that pops up. Hit enter on it, and this will show you your configuration for your environment variables. So there are a few ways that you can configure your path. So if any of these are set, then you are good to go. Your Java environment should already be set. I don't know if Windows automatically sets the environment variable, the environment path to your Java installation. There may be an option in the installer to do that, so make sure you go through the installer very carefully and check that box if it asks you if you want to add the environment path to your path variable. If you didn't do the manual installation with the zip file and you did the actual installer and you installed it to the default location, it will actually be located in your C drive program files folder, and then in your Java folder. Inside of that Java folder should be all the versions of Java you have installed. You just pick which one you want. That version folder, like could be, you know, Java 11 or whatever the name is of the folder. That folder, this is what you would put in your environment path here in Windows. Otherwise, you can come in here and check. The Linux and Mac are usually going to do through the Java home environment variable or JDK home environment variable. You can also set it as the java.home within your user settings. So you can always click this user settings option here, and it will take you to the option to where your Java home is in VS Code. So that way VS Code knows where it's at. Your operating system might not know where your Java installation is at, but VS Code will know where it's at. So you can set it here, or you can set it manually. If you're on Arch Linux, there's a convenient command called archlinux-java, and then you can type status right afterwards, and you can see which environments you have installed on your system. The one with the default next to it is going to be the current one you are using, and then you can always set your Java environment on Arch Linux if there is no default. You can type archlinux-java, and then type in the name of the version you want to use. So if I wanted to switch to Java 8, I would then type java-8-openjdk right after this archlinux-java command. If you're on a Mac, there's a command you can put in your bash rc or bash profile file, or if you have some other area in your system to create a profile to set up your environment path whenever you start your system, you can do that there, or you can manually type in the export command. The export command is going to be export $Java home equals \$ open parentheses /usr /libexec /java _home. Now there is also an optional -v that you can type. You can do like -v and do 1.7 if you want a Java 1.7. If you do just normally just Java home without the optional -v flag, then it will do the latest Java that you have installed on your system. And then you can close that, and then you can send that to your bash profile by using the double symbol here, and then do ~/.bash _profile. That will go ahead and put that in your profile, so that way it'll happen every time you open a terminal. So now that we have the environment variable set, you may need to reload VS Code to make sure that VS Code now can understand where Java is installed. And we should be good to go ahead and create our Java application. So there's multiple different ways of creating a Java application when you have your Visual Studio Code environment set up in some folder. You can create individual Java files and compile them using the Java C command, which we'll do. I'll show that version. Then there's also creating a application through the extension that we installed. You can create a Maven project. Maven is just a software project management and comprehension tool that manages project builds, reports, and documents. There's also another way you can do it through a project called Gradle, or a program called Gradle, which you have to install separately, which I'll put the command for that in the description for Linux-based distros. The Gradle is an open source build automation tool focused on flexibility and performance. So there's multiple different ways of creating these applications within VS Code. So to first show off that we can create just a single Java file, we're going to create a Java file called myclass.java. Notice the extension goes ahead and sets up this class file for us pretty much automatically. We can just make that back to a class, and then we can create a main method. We will do public static void main string args, and there's some C# habits going there. And then we can system.out.println hello world. All right, now once we have our main class created here, our main function in my class, you can come down to a command line, command prompt, PowerShell, etc., and you can type Java C and then the name of your Java file, hit enter, and you'll notice that we now have a file called myclass.class. Gradle is going to need to be installed separately, so I'll leave the Gradle download link or the link to the Gradle page in the description. If you're on Linux, you can download it from your package manager, but once you have it installed, you can create a Gradle project/application with the command Gradle init --type java-library. Go ahead and hit enter on that. It'll ask you a couple of questions for your application, like which script DSL you want to use, your build script. I'm going to just go to the defaults through all these things. You can select your test framework if you want, JUnit 4, TestNG, Spock, JUnit Jupyter. I'm going to just, go with all the defaults here. Project name, you can set that up to be something different if you want. Otherwise, it will be the name of the folder that you're currently in. I'm going to leave it as default. The source package, again, you can name that whatever you want. I'm going to leave that default. And there you go. It will give you a Java application here with some folder structure. And here we got a library file. Now, there's a difference between a console application with a main and a library application. So the way you can modify this library application to be more of a main, like console application or whatever, is just you can delete this library.java class and delete the corresponding test class. Create a new file. We'll call this myclass.java, and we'll leave it as a class. We'll go ahead and put it in its correct package. What is our package here? Let's see, is Java setup, and we will do public static void main string args and system.out.println hello world. Now, why is this giving us errors? Okay, so this is saying that we need to put it in main.java.java setup. So you can do it like such because the packages is based on the folder structure, and our file is within the folder main Java and Java setup. So once you get your package set up and everything, you should be good to go. Now, if you want to run this, again, we just come over here to the run section, create a launch.json, and it will create a configuration with two different configs. One will be for the current file, the other will be for launching the class or the application, which is just my class. So we can go ahead and save our my class. We'll select my class as the one we want to run, press F5, and as you can see, we have our hello world output. So those are the many ways you can create and debug and run and code Java in VS Code. If you enjoyed the video or if you learned something, let me know by giving me a like and comment. If you have any questions, concerns, or if something was not easy to understand, or I didn't explain it well or something, let me know in the comments as well. We'll do my best to try to explain it better there and help you out. Otherwise, I hope you guys are doing fantastic, and I will see you guys in the next video. Adios.